Hi all, Nick here, 9 Acre Overland. As you can see, it's a little chilly here in the garage. It's roughly 29, 30 degrees outside and it's only about 35, 36 in here. We do have a fire going. We're hoping to add a few more degrees to that. But, back to today. So, my initial plan, we got the 4-liter pulled back out of the Commander, was going to be to start fabbing up the engine brackets for where they mount to the frame, and that's going to support the actual weight of the engine. Been racking my head over this for days, trying to figure out not necessarily what to do. I've got materials, I've got a pretty good idea in my head, but the more I sit here and look at it, I've got a problem. The problem is the steering column, not the column I guess, but the steering linkage coming out of the Jeep to the gearbox. And it goes roughly, it would seem, here, let's go check it out. So let's see here, can you see that? So, as you can see, this is where the steering's coming out from the inside into the engine compartment. And I'm guessing the steering box, once we do the solid front axle swap, is going to mount somewhere in here. Well, or down here, I guess, rather. But the orange mark, I'm not sure if you can see it. Let's move you around over here. That line right about there is where the engine mount on the driver's side is centered, and where it needs to be from the front of the vehicle back. And it is pretty much going to be right in line with where the steering linkage needs to go. Steering linkage, steering arm, steering column. So what I'm thinking I need to do, rather than go through the hassle of getting all that figured out and measured up, welded together and set in there, only to get to the front axle swap and find out that it's no good because it blocks my steering. I need to go ahead and move on, pulling the front axle out in this cradle that the engine sat on, and that's tied into the entire front suspension, and then get the front axle pulled out of the Cherokee and brought in here, start getting it fitted. It's not particularly ideal, but I think it's just the route we need to go. So, instead of episode, I think it would be 6, being more meats and potatoes, or more, or rather getting to the meats and potatoes, where I'm finding a little more commentary, and the video is a little more exciting than just watching me at 5X run through the removal and a bunch of stuff. This is going to have to be another one of those. So I apologize. We get to the interesting stuff real soon. All right. Well, let's get moving. far as I can tell, there's only 4 bolts that hold that entire suspension cradle to the bottom of the chassis. I'm not including the shock tower and the strut mount nuts and bolts up top, or the brake lines, but 4 main bolts that come up, 2 on either side, 1 there, 1 back there, and then same on the other side. So I'd like to get it all out in one piece, just to save some time and not have to, pull every little bits apart. I think what I'm going to do is take the gantry, slide it over so I can support the weight of that section, not the commander, but the cradle there that's holding the axle and the gearbox and all that stuff. Pull the 4 bolts out on either side, give it a little slack, see if the whole thing starts to lower. If it does, then as long as I can get the control arm, the upper control arm bolts out, and then the shop, not too worried about the strut mount bolts up top, those are pretty loose already, then everything should just drop down. This will be heavy, I got to drag it out from underneath there, but that aside, that's the plan. We're up to 45 degrees in the garage. It's not bad. How long have we been in here? 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe? 10 degrees and, I don't know, 30 minutes, I guess. Stove's burning hot. Cat's comfy on her chair. Let's get to it. Alright, so we got the front transaxle and cradle out, all the suspension out. Got pushed over here to the side on a couple wheel dollies. I'm going to use the gantry to lift the front of the Commander up, unchalk the back wheels, and hopefully move it forward so I can get this closer to the garage door and get it out with the tractor. That's the plan.